She was just a language analyst. On a cold, rainy Chicago night, she instinctively saved a man. She pushed him from the path of a runaway truck. She didn't know. The man was Damian Voronov, the uncrowned king of the city's shadows. He controls everything. Now, he won't let her go. She thought it was an accident. But she soon discovered that truck was a warning. A war against Damian had begun, and she, Alara, is now the center of that war. She's dragged into a world she can't comprehend. A world of violence, betrayal, and luxurious fortresses. He swore to protect her. But he himself is facing a deadly threat from within. Is she his only weakness, or his most unexpected weapon? When she finds herself falling for this dangerous man, she must choose. Flee back to her ordinary life, or stay and use her unique skills to survive this game of power. This story is about a collision of fates, about an ordinary woman's transformation under extreme pressure. If you've ever felt swept up in something you can't control, this story will resonate. Asterisk asterisk. Tell me in the comments. Do you think Alara should stay or run? Asterisk asterisk. Don't forget to asterisk asterisk, like asterisk asterisk and asterisk asterisk. Subscribe asterisk asterisk to see her next move in this deadly game. October. Chicago. The air smelled of wet concrete and exhaust. I just walked out of the Orion Tower. The revolving door pushed me into the evening chill. It had been raining for an hour. The wind was biting. I pulled my coat tighter. The meeting went well. Better than expected. I analyzed legal documents for a multinational. 3 whole hours. They want to renew for the next quarter. My laptop is still upstairs, on the conference room table. I'll get it tomorrow. I'm too tired now. My brain needs a break. No more screens and jargon. The crosswalk signal flashed white. I stepped off the curb. Thinking about Saturday, Chloe's birthday dinner. Can I finish the Portuguese contract before then? Maybe, if I hurry. A movement. I caught something in my periphery. A man. In an expensive charcoal gray suit. He was coming from the opposite corner. Walked straight into the intersection. Phone pressed to his ear. Head tilted. Completely absorbed. He didn't notice at all. A truck appeared. No. It was always there. It was barreling down the street. Terrifyingly fast. The traffic light was red. Solid. Unmistakable red. But the behemoth didn't slow. Time shattered. The man's leather shoes. The wet asphalt. The truck's grill reflecting the streetlight. I lunged. My bag slipped from my shoulder. Look out. The sound tore from my throat. But I was already moving. My hand hit his chest. I pushed with all my strength. He was solid. Like a mountain. But suddenly, he fell. We hit the ground hard. The sidewalk rushed up at us. At the last second, he twisted. He took most of the impact. His arm locked around me, pulling us close. We rolled together. The truck's wind whipped my face. Too close. Horrifyingly close. Gravel bit into my knee. Fabric tore. My right wrist twisted. A sharp pain shot up my forearm. Then silence. Just the hiss of tires on wet road, fading away. His chest rose and fell under my cheek. Expensive fabric. Silk or something. The scent of cedar. And something deeper. My heart was pounding. My ribs felt like they'd crack. Are you hurt? His voice rumbled through his chest. Into my ear, an accent. I couldn't place it. He was abnormally calm. I pushed myself up. My wrist screamed. Am I hurt? You nearly got yourself killed. He sat up. A fluid motion. Not like someone who just fell. Dark eyes stared at me. Assessing. High cheekbones. Stubble on his jaw. A thin scar on his right jawline. He was handsome, but dangerous. You saved my life. You walked into traffic like an idiot. Adrenaline made me lose control. The words flew out in Italian before I could think. Who crosses the street without looking? Didn't your mother teach you? He raised an eyebrow. He replied in Italian too. Perfect. An accent from near Milan. My mother taught me many things, he said. Obviously not how to look. I blinked. Great. Of course he understood Italian. Your wrist. He reached over. His hand was warm. He carefully examined the swelling. And your knee. I looked down. My pants were torn. A bloody mess. The pain hit instantly. Sharp. I'm fine. I have to. A car stopped at the curb, a black SUV, windows black as the abyss. 3 more followed, blocking the intersection. Doors opened in sync. Men poured out, all in black. Purposeful. The leader had graying hair. He walked toward us. "Boss," he whispered. "Urgent." "Are you hurt?" "Boss." Ice formed in my stomach. The man beside me stood. He reached down for me. "I'm fine, Marcus." He looked at me. "Thanks to Alara." My voice was small. "Thanks to Alara." He didn't let go of my hand. "She needs medical." "I really don't. You're bleeding." His tone allowed no argument. "Marcus, take her to doctor. Pietro." "Wait. I can't just." More men appeared. Where did they come from? This wasn't normal. "Miss Alara." Marcus's voice was firm. "Please let us make sure you're okay." "I insist." The man, Damien. He stepped closer. His gaze locked on me. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. "You risked yourself for a stranger. The least I can do is ensure your safety." The SUV door was open. My knees were shaking. My phone and bag were still on the street. No running. I was numb with shock. "Just a checkup," he said. "Then we'll take you home." Of course. The car smelled of leather. Expensive. He slid in beside me. Marcus was in the front. We pulled smoothly into traffic. I heard Marcus speaking Italian in the front. Too close. Someone has to answer for this. "Brake failure," the driver said. "Make sure they believe that narrative." Marcus's voice lowered. "Find that truck. I want names before dawn." My hand started to shake. He noticed, but he said nothing. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere safe. I don't even know your name." He was silent for a long moment. "Damien." Marcus's shoulders tensed. The name had weight. I saved someone important, someone dangerous. I was now in a car with armed men. The Chicago night was full of shadows I had never seen. I woke up disoriented. Silk sheets. An unfamiliar ceiling. Not my apartment. My wrist was bandaged. It throbbed. I sat up bolt upright. The room spun. "Easy." A man's voice. It was Dr. Pietro. He explained I had fainted. Adrenaline crash. "Where am I?" "A safe place." Marcus appeared at the door. "Your things are here." He held my bag. I grabbed my phone. 17 missed calls. "Chloe," I called her back immediately. "Alara, oh my God, where are you?" She was frantic. "I'm fine, Chloe. There was an accident. I'll explain later." I looked at Marcus. I had to lie. I hung up. The lie tasted bitter. "I need my laptop," I told Marcus. "It's at the Orion Tower. We'll arrange it. Mr. Voronov wants to see you." I followed him down a hallway that looked like something from a magazine. The office was huge. The Chicago nightscape glittered outside. Damien stood at the window, backlit. He had changed. A white shirt. Sleeves rolled up. It made him more intimidating. "Alara." He gestured to a chair. "How do you feel?" "Like I got hit by a truck." "Metaphorically." "Can I go now?" "It's complicated," he said. "That wasn't an accident." Marcus handed me a tablet. Surveillance footage. I saw the truck. Saw me push Damien. Saw the vehicle. Swerved toward us at the last second. "Watch the driver," Damien said. I rewound. The driver's face. He was staring right at Damien. Full of malice. No panic. Only acceleration. "Someone is trying to kill me," Damien concluded. "And you, Alara Vance, 27. Freelance linguist." He'd researched me. My blood ran cold. "You looked me up?" "I protect my interests." "You saved my life. That makes you relevant to my interests." "You mean I'm a witness?" "Yes," Marcus said. "The police will rule it brake failure, but the enemy will review the footage. They will see you. They will wonder if you're one of mine." "But I'm not. I'm nobody." "It doesn't matter," Damien said. "In my world, perception is everything. I'm offering protection. A few days, until we're sure you're not in danger. And if I refuse, then you walk out that door. And you pray I'm wrong." I thought of my flimsy apartment lock. I had no choice. "How long?" A week at most. I have work. You'll have everything you need. Work remotely. Fine, I heard myself say. But I need my computer and my clothes. Marcus. Damien nodded. Take her home. 2 men for escort. It was early morning. We went back to my apartment. Marcus and another guard waited outside the door. I packed quickly. Laptop, chargers, a few changes of clothes. I emailed my clients. Explained a family emergency. Said I'd need to work remotely for a few days. Back in the car. I saw another car. It was following us. Ours, Marcus said. I worked from that safe house for 3 days. A strange vacuum. I translated contracts. The windows didn't open. Chloe called. I was vague. On the 3rd night, Marcus came. His expression was grim. There's been another incident. My heart sank. Damien. Is he alive? Barely. He shut the door. Someone planted a bomb in his car. C4. Professional. When? 2 hours ago. He switched cars on instinct. The blast destroyed half the garage. I sank onto the bed. This was an inside job, Marcus said. Someone who knew his schedule, knew which car he used. He took out his phone. Showed me a photo. Twisted metal. Charred black. We have another problem. You. He swiped. A photo of me, at a coffee shop, on the sidewalk, even outside my apartment window, taken by someone else. Who are they? Enemy surveillance. They know you saved him. They're tracking you. They might want to use you as leverage. You're exposed. You have to move to the estate tonight. I can't just disappear. It's better than being dead. I looked at the photos. An unknown lens. In the dark. I had no choice. I need to pack. I need to tell my clients. 30 minutes, Marcus said. I packed again. This time for longer. I emailed my clients. Said I'd be remote for at least 2 weeks. I texted Chloe. Told her I was out of town. Safe. Not to worry. Her call came instantly. I didn't answer. I let it go to voicemail. I couldn't lie to her again. The estate was outside the city. Like a fortress. All stone walls and cameras. The suite they gave me was bigger than my entire apartment. Huge bed. Huge bathroom. Damien wants to have dinner with you at 8, Marcus said. It wasn't a request. The dining room was elegant, but oppressive. Damien stood. I saw him favor his left side. You're hurt. Minor burns from the blast. He pulled out my chair. Marcus showed me the photos. I got straight to the point. The ones of me. I'm sorry for pulling you into this. It's too late for that. Who is it? I'm finding out. Damien studied his wine glass. The bomb was sophisticated. A betrayal from within. He looked up at me. Which is why you need to stay here. And then what, when I handle him? You go back to your life. I'll compensate you. I scoffed. You think it's that simple? I can just go back and pretend this never happened? No, he said. You're smart. You know better. He changed the subject. Tell me about your work. 6 languages? English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Italian, German. Not just translation. You do analysis. I find loopholes. Inconsistent clauses. Fraudulent terms. His expression brightened. Genuine curiosity. Say something in French. Right now? Que maintenant? He answered in French. Parisian accent. Perfect. Your accent is good. We slipped into French easily, talking about linguistics. Without realizing it, the tension eased. You're not what I expected. He switched back to English. What did you expect? Someone more afraid? Someone who would just accept protection? Would you? No, he admitted. That almost smile appeared again. That's why I find you interesting. The word hung between us. I should get back to work. I pushed my chair back. Of course. He stood. Alara, I'm serious. You are safe here. No matter what happens. You are no longer alone. Back in my room. I opened my laptop. Forced myself to work. Chloe's voicemail. I still didn't listen. The estate was my sanctuary. And my prison. I kept sane with work. I kept lying to Chloe. The lies got easier. Dinner with Damien became a routine. He told me about his past, his father's assassination, how he learned cruelty and loyalty. A few days later, he hosted a dinner, his inner circle. He insisted I attend. It's better they see you, he said. The room was full of predators. In expensive suits. Marcus introduced me. I couldn't remember the names. Victor Rostov arrived last. Damien's cousin. Handsome. But his smile was fake. Cousin. He hugged Damien. You didn't say we had a guest. His eyes landed on me, assessing. Then, dismissive. Alara is my guest, Damien said. She's staying here. Of course. Victor's smile widened. A friend of the family. Is a protected member of the family. It sounded like a threat. Leo Gallo sat across from me. He handled the finances. He was nervous, constantly fidgeting. When Victor spoke, Leo's jaw tightened. Marcus, as always, watched everything. I excused myself early. Claimed exhaustion. Damien walked me to the door. How do you feel? He asked quietly. Your cousin doesn't like me. He doesn't like anyone who has my attention. His hand touched the small of my back. Brief, but hot. 3 more days passed. I heard shouting. Down the hall. Then Damien's study door slammed. I shouldn't have gone, but I did. The door wasn't closed properly. I saw him at the window, shoulders rigid. One hand pressed to the glass. The other was dripping blood. Damien. He turned. There was a cut on his left cheek. Bleeding. His shirt collar was torn. His knuckles were split. Get out. The voice was flat, devoid of emotion. You're hurt. Get out. I didn't listen. I pushed into the room. Shut the door. Where's the first aid kit? Bathroom. I got the antiseptic and gauze. He sat in the chair, tilted his face up. This close. I could smell the blood on him, mixed with cedar and danger. I cleaned the cut carefully. He didn't flinch, but his eyes never left my face. What happened? A captain questioned my judgment. His voice was soft, but lethal. I reminded him, why questioning me is unwise. My hand was shaking. We were too close. I could feel the heat from his body. His uninjured hand caught my wrist. Alara. Just my name. But it held everything we'd been avoiding. The pull that happened every time we looked at each other. This is a bad idea, I whispered. Very. He agreed. But neither of us moved. The door burst open. Marcus rushed in. We have a problem. Damien let me go instantly, cool composure restored. What problem? The financial audit. You need to see this. I stepped back, heart still hammering. Marcus held out the tablet. Spreadsheets. The audit found unauthorized transfers. Millions. Through non-existent accounts. How much? Damien's voice went cold. 8 million so far. Probably more. Who has access? Only the 4 of us. You, me, Leo, and Victor, Marcus said. Someone falsified the payments. Damien looked at the files. I should have left. But my professional instincts kicked in. Can I see? Both men looked at me. Damien nodded. I took the tablet. I went into analysis mode. These vendor names. I pointed to a string of payments. The formatting is inconsistent. This one uses LLC. This one uses LLC. And the grammar. The description here. Payment for services rendered. Here. Payment for the rendering of services. It's unnatural. A native English speaker wouldn't write that. Meaning? Meaning these companies are fake, I said. Someone created shells. Tried to make them look legit. But they didn't stay consistent. This is fraud. Money laundering through fake vendors. The room was silent. Damien looked at Marcus. Trace every transfer. I want names. Dates. Who approved them? Marcus nodded. He was gone instantly. Damien turned to me. His expression was complicated. It was respect. 5 minutes. You saw what our accountants missed for months. It's my job. I find inconsistencies in documents. It's more than that. He stepped closer. You are more than that. This time he touched me. I didn't pull away. His hand cupped my face. His mouth came down on mine. I kissed him back. All the tension, all the fear, exploded in that moment. His hand tangled in my hair. My hands gripped his shoulders. Everything fell away. except the heat and the need. We broke apart, both breathing hard. I should go, I said. You should. But he didn't let me go. Damien, I know. He pressed his forehead to mine. This complicates everything. Everything was already complicated. He laughed, a real, rough sound. Fair point. I forced myself to step back, before I lost my mind. Find the person stealing from you. Find the person trying to kill you. Then, we'll talk about what this is. That kiss changed everything. And nothing. We didn't talk about it. But the air was different. I threw myself into work, took every project. Deadlines became my armor. I couldn't sleep. My hands started to shake. Chloe's messages grew more worried. I couldn't bring myself to reply. What would I even say? Marcus found me 4 days later. His expression was worse. We traced the companies, he said. They all lead to a network of shells. Eventually, they lead to Victor. Damien's cousin. My stomach rolled. The money was funneled to a freight company, Marcus continued. The same one that owned the truck, and the bomb maker. Victor has been using Damien's money to fund his own coup. Does Damien know? He's calling an emergency meeting tonight. You stay in your suite. I should have listened. I didn't. I found myself in the hall outside the conference room. Voices were rising. You dare accuse me! Victor's voice was full of rage. I have bled for this family, while you play philosopher in your mansion. The evidence is clear. Damien's voice was ice. The accounts lead directly to you. Through Leo. Leo! Victor shouted. He runs the finances. Money is missing. Look at him. No. Leo's voice was trembling. Don't try. Don't try what? To expose your incompetence? Your gambling debts? Enough. Damien cut them off. Marcus, show them the new evidence. Silence. Then Leo broke. He had records on me, from years ago. I skimmed some money. He's been blackmailing me, forcing me to make the transfers, threatening my family. You're pathetic. Victor was disgusted, still blaming me. The truth is, Victor turned to the others. Damien is compromised. He's emotional. He brought an outsider into our home, gave her access to sensitive information, all for a... Be careful. Damien's voice was dangerous. She's a liability. Everyone can see it. You're distracted. You're making decisions based on emotion, not strategy. A loud bang, a fist hitting the table. Do not mention her again. Damien's every word was like steel. Do not think about her. Do not look at her. Do not acknowledge her existence. Understand? I saw Victor's expression. It was calculation, disguised as submission, of course. But his eyes were lying. I hurried back to my room, heart pounding. A liability, a weakness, a distraction. Victor wasn't entirely wrong. I made Damien vulnerable. Damien entered without knocking. He was furious. You heard? Some of it. Ilara, he's right. I hugged myself. I make you vulnerable. Your cousin thinks you're compromised because of me. My cousin is trying to kill me. His opinion is worthless. But he's right. I don't belong here. I don't know your rules. I've given your enemy ammunition against you. He crossed the room in 3 strides, cupped my face in his hands. Shockingly gentle. The day you saved me. You saw the danger. You ran toward it, not away. You question. You refuse to be intimidated. You challenge me. You fascinate me. That's not worth the risk to you. It's the only thing that is. His forehead rested against mine. I spent 15 years building power with fear and control. You walked in and showed me courage, integrity. This is insane. Completely. His kiss landed. Urgent. Desperate. But I choose you. His hands were in my hair. My hands gripped his shoulders. Sanity melted. We fell onto the bed, clothes and restraint shedding away. Afterward, we lay tangled in the sheets, his heartbeat steady under my ear. Now what? I whispered. We find direct evidence linking Victor to the attacks. Then I remove him. And if you can't? His arm tightened. I do it anyway. An explosion shattered the night. I was thrown from the bed. Glass rained down. Damien was on top of me before I could react, shielding me with his body. Gunfire erupted downstairs. Stay down. He was already moving. grabbing weapons from places I didn't know existed. A gun in the nightstand, a knife under the mattress. He was dressed in seconds. The lover was gone. The lethal warrior was back. What's happening? They're inside. The door burst open. Marcus appeared. He had a cut over his eye. Bleeding. Southeast breach. 6. Maybe more. Security was bypassed from inside. Victor is in the wind. Perfect timing. Damien's jaw was tight. Take Alara to the safe room. Service tunnels. Go. I'm not leaving. You don't have a choice. He grabbed my face, kissed me, hard and fast. Marcus will protect you. Live. That's an order. Then he was gone. Into the chaos. Marcus shoved a gun into my hand. Know how to use this? No. Point. Shoot. If anyone gets close, move. We ran through hallways I'd never seen. Servant passages. Gunfire echoed behind us. The safe room was behind the wine cellar. Marcus locked us in. Hit the panic lights. He'll be fine, Marcus said. We waited in the tomb. War raged above us. I prayed Damien would walk through that door again. I had fallen in love with a goddamn man who lived by violence and blood. And now I might lose him. The gunfire stopped. Dead silence. Marcus was still at the door, weapon raised. His radio crackled. All clear. Hostiles neutralized. Boss wants Alara. My legs were weak. The estate was a war zone. Glass crunched underfoot. Bullet holes and blood everywhere. Damien was standing in the study. There was blood on his shirt. But he was fine. When he saw me, his composure cracked. You're okay. Marcus protected me. I walked to him, shaking. What happened? 6 men breached the perimeter. Used an internal code. His jaw tightened. Someone let them in. Marcus held a tablet. I checked the logs. The override code came from Leo's terminal. Leo. The nervous accountant. Where is he? Damien's voice was lethal. Interrogation. He's cooperating. The interrogation room was underground. Leo sat at a table, pale. He flinched when he saw us. I didn't know, he yelled immediately. I swear, I didn't know they were moving tonight. Who? Damien loomed over him. Who gave the order? Leo's eyes darted between us, landed on me. He broke. Victor, he sobbed. He blackmailed me. Used my old gambling debts. He threatened my family. If I didn't cooperate, the transfers, the fake vendors. You did that. Marcus threw the tablet on the table. He forced me. Every month, new instructions. Move money here, create the account, disable security, tonight's bomb, the truck. I'm just an accountant. I'm not a killer. But you're complicit. Damien's voice was ice. How many men died because of your weakness? I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. What was his endgame? A full takeover, Leo said. He's been courting the captains, promising them more territory. He said you'd gone soft, been compromised. By her. By an outsider. By me. The words stung. Damien's hand found mine, in front of everyone. How many did he turn? Maybe half. The ones who missed the old days. He was going to call a vote. Force you out, or kill you. Damien looked at Marcus. Lock Leo down. Post guards. Cut his communication. He pulled me from the room. We need to talk. Back in the study. Damien, Marcus, and 2 other senior men. The table was covered in files. Leo's communications. Financials. He's been planning this for at least 8 months, Marcus said. After the assassination failed, he prepared for an open challenge. How do we prove it? Another man asked. Leo's testimony isn't enough. They'll believe Victor. We need to catch him in the act, Marcus said. Indisputable proof. He'll move soon. I spoke. Everyone looked at me. Tonight's attack failed. Leo is caught. He knows his time is short. She's right, Damien said. Victor has to accelerate. So, we give him an opening. What the hell are you thinking? Let him think he has a chance, I said. Let him think he can win, and then trap him. It's too risky, Marcus said, but it's better than a civil war. I pointed to Leo's confession. He keeps saying it. You're weak because of me. So, use it. Let him think I'm the leverage to be taken. Absolutely not. Damien vetoed it instantly. Listen, I said. You announce you're moving me, for my safety, to a secondary location. Somewhere with less protection. Victor won't be able to resist. He'll see it as the perfect chance to prove you're soft. You're making yourself bait. It's strategy, I said. You control the location. You control the surveillance. But to Victor, it looks like you're making an emotional mistake. Marcus rubbed his jaw. It could work. If we pick the spot, set the stage. No, Damien's voice was firm. I'm not putting you in danger. I am already in danger, I yelled. I have been since the moment I pushed you. At least this time. We're the ones in control. The argument lasted a long time. Lie. Damien agreed. He had no choice. We needed Victor to make a move, and I was the perfect trigger. We planned for 3 days. A safe house. Publicly announced. It looked lightly secured. In reality, it was wired with cameras, and staffed with Damien's best men. I was the rabbit in the trap. I was moved across Chicago in daylight. A small convoy. It looked vulnerable. The message was clear. Damien was compromised by emotion. The house was modern, all glass, overlooking the river. Beautiful, and exposed. I had to remain visible. Move past windows. Pretend to work. The fear was real. Damien wanted to be here, but he had to be in the command center. His absence was what made the trap plausible. At dusk, they came. 6 men, moving professionally, not amateurs. Contact. Marcus's voice was in my ear. Stay put. Don't move. I was staged in the upstairs study, visible, but the walls were reinforced. The panic room was behind the bookshelf. Glass shattered downstairs. Footsteps. Alara Vance! Someone yelled below. We know you're here. I didn't answer. Marcus had said. Stay quiet, until they were all inside. They started clearing rooms. Closer. Closer. Then, Damien's voice. We have Victor. Intercepted him 3 blocks away. Marcus, go. Everything happened at once. They reached my level. Marcus's team breached from multiple entries. Flashbangs. Shouting. Victor's men found themselves surrounded. I was pulled into the panic room. The door sealed. I watched the monitors. Marcus's team subdued everyone. No fatalities. Damien wanted them alive. 20 minutes later, Marcus opened the door. It's done. The boss wants you at the estate. The estate was lit up. The main conference room was full. 30 men, all captains, all in suits. Damien stood at the head of the table. He looked relieved to see me. But he didn't come over. Alara. The observation room. The observation room was separated by one-way glass. I could see and hear everything. Victor was brought in. Suit rumpled, lip split, but still arrogant. Cousin, he sneered. Quite the production. Sit. Damien's voice was non-negotiable. Marcus began presenting the evidence. The financials, the shell companies, all leading to Victor. Leo was brought in. He testified. Victor laughed. A desperate coward. He ran the finances. The fault is his. What about the assassination? Damien cut in. The truck driver. The bomb. Paid for from accounts you control. We have the bank records. All planted. And tonight, Damien played the surveillance. Victor's car. Intercepted near my safe house. The attackers' phones. All with calls to Victor. You sent 6 men to kidnap or kill Alara. Why? Victor stood. His face was a snarl. Because she made you weak. The room went quiet. You compromised everything we built. For an outsider, she knows too much about us. You're compromised by emotion. Look at him, all of you. He is not the cold leader he was. A few captains shifted. Victor seized the opening. She is a liability. You all see it. He chose her. Over you. And that choice will destroy us. Marcus touched his earpiece. He looked at me through the glass. He mouthed, Now. I grabbed my laptop. Pushed through the door. All eyes turned to me. Damien. He tried to stop me. He's not wrong. I put the laptop on the table. I am an outsider. I don't know your rules. But I know documents. I brought up the file. This is a preliminary agreement between Victor and the Sinaloa cartel, dated 4 months ago. He wasn't just planning a takeover. He was planning to sell you all out. I showed them the terms. He promised them 3 key territories, the shipping lanes at the port, and intel on your entire network, intel he already started to provide. The room exploded. Captains were on their feet, shouting. The cartel was an enemy to all of them. He was trading your lives for their support, I said. Victor lunged at me. 2 guards slammed him back into his chair. Leo confirmed it. It's true. He forced me to pass the messages. Damien walked up to Victor. You call me weak, because I chose someone who makes me better. You betrayed everyone in this room. For power. That isn't strength. It's cowardice. He turned to the captains. I call for a vote. Does Victor still belong to this family? The vote was unanimous. Exile. Victor was dragged out, still cursing. Damien looked at everyone. I will not apologize for Alara. She saved my life. She found the betrayal we all missed. If that is weakness, I accept it. But I am still standing. Victor is not. The meeting ended. Damien walked over to me. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. It had to end today. No more questions about my role. He pulled me close. Thank you. Outside. The dawn was breaking. My old life was still out there. But I didn't want to go back. This world had me. And I had chosen him. Weeks later. The dust settled. Victor's fate was handled. I didn't ask. Leo was exiled. His cooperation saved his life. But he lost everything. Marcus was officially promoted to second in command. Order was restored to the estate. Damien was ruthless in rebuilding his empire. I stayed. Leaving had become impossible. I called Chloe. We met at a restaurant Damien owned. She didn't know that, of course. The place was full of our people. What the hell happened to you? She grabbed my hand. I met someone. I told her a partial truth. Someone with security issues. A dangerous man. But I'm safe. Is it the man? The one you saved? I nodded. You're in love with him? Yes. Is he good to you? Better than I deserve. Then I'll try to understand. She hugged me. But you are not allowed to disappear again. I promised her. When I got back, Damien was waiting. You could have gone back, he said, to your life. Did you want me to? I wanted you to do what you needed. I walked to him, cupped his face. I need you to give me a real role. Not protected, not captive, a purpose. He pulled a file from his desk. I've been thinking about that. Strategic advisor. Handling international negotiations and contract analysis, with veto power over suspicious deals. I have terms, I said. I remain independent. I keep my legitimate clients. I am not your property. I am your partner. And if the day comes that I want to leave, I can. Unhindered. All agreed. He didn't hesitate. You saved my life. Then you saved my organization. I owe you everything. Then I accept. The kiss. Sealed it. 3 months later. My office was on the estate. The captains nodded to me. Marcus consulted me on suspicious contracts. I still did my translation work, maintaining my link to that normal world. Tonight. Damien and I stood on the balcony, overlooking Chicago. His arms were around me. The Milan offer is good, I said, but the Frankfurt contact has problems. I advise we hold. Noted. I trust your judgment. He kissed my temple. Want to go to Italy? 2 weeks. Just us. Business or pleasure? Both. His hand found mine. But mostly pleasure. The city glittered below. Somewhere, the old me was still there. The one who worried about rent and deadlines. That woman saved a stranger and chose an entirely different path. I had no regrets. What are you thinking about? Damien asked. I'm thinking, I should have run. The second I realized what you were. Why didn't you? Because fear and fascination feel a lot alike, and you saw me, the real me. I turned to him. I chose this. I chose you. This complicated, dangerous life I never planned for, and I'd choose it again. Good. His kiss came down. Familiar and electric. Because I am never letting you go.